Alabama's started this new thing. It's an allocation day. First time they did it, I think it was, I don't know, it was like a Monday or Tuesday, and there was like going to be some snow, and the whole thing got screwed up, and they did it on a weekday, so people at work couldn't show up. So the whole purpose there was to try and help us get some bourbon, because it was all ending up on the secondary market. And all I can tell you is, if you're not working and you can get to the store and you can figure out what delivery days they are, because they're pretty consistent, well, screw everybody else, buy everything and sell it on the secondary and make some money. That's what happened. So Alabama has now got this allocated day, and they've changed it to Saturdays, which is really good, so working people can go out there. This weekend I picked up a Maker's Mark. That's the FAE Series 1. Series 2 will be coming out, I think, later this year. I'm really looking forward to that one. I'll tell you a little bit about it in a bit. This is the one we're going to do some tasting on tonight. And then I also picked up a toasted barrel, which has been really, really tough to get. But the first time I went there, I got in line. I got there about 6 in the morning, waited 4 hours, but I really wanted a midwinter night Stram. Couldn't get one the year before. Didn't get one the year before that. I did pick one up on the secondary. And then there's this one, man. This is really good. This is the High West Double Rye. It's finished in Malbec barrels, and I'm so happy. Now, the reason I got that one, believe it or not, is quite interesting, but I was one of the first 9 people in line, and they had 2 cases, 6 in a case of Stag Junior batch 15, and that's what I went there to get. And I wanted that and a batch 15, but they lost the case. So anyway, after I left, that case was found and went out, and I didn't get my hands on one. I did buy one on the secondary, so I'm happy I got one. But I called them back, and they also lost a case of this, and I said, hey, I heard that you had the extras. I kind of felt a little bit hard done by, as you do. And anyway, they said they had found a case of this. If I came back, I could pick up one of these, which is really made me happy, because this is sensational. So I'm going to move these 3 out of the way, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Maker's Mark FAE. Okay, watch this. Magic! They're gone! So anyway, this is the Maker's Mark FAE. Over here we got the 101, which is a semi-limited release. I think everybody managed to get one of those that wanted one. Over here's the off-the-shelf 46, and that's what I'm drinking in my glass right now. It's got a great nose. It's a wheated, so it's got some sweetness. Yeah, and it's got your, caramels and your vanilla, and it's definitely got some wood in it. Some char, that would be. And it's delicious. Just a little touch of cinnamon. I'm really digging that. This is the 46 car strength. So it's the 46 profile. This one here is the car strength. It's bottled a little higher. It's standard off your shelf. It's 94 proof. This one here is, I think, 109.6. There you go, 109.6. And the new one, the Wood Finish series, which they put out every year, the FAE-01. Now this is the 01 because they're going to put out a second series of this. The FAE-01, it has, I believe the barrels had 10 extra oak staves put in the barrels to give it an extra flavor. That's 110.3 proof. Really excited to get the series 2. So it's their expression of non-chill filtered, and they really want to show you what that means, how it affects the flavors. So it's got fatty acid esters left in it where it's not filtered out. It's actually pretty clear. I don't really see anything floating in there, but I believe when it gets cooler they'll actually solidify. So sometimes if you see a bottle and it's got some little white bits floating around in it, don't be alarmed. They're little white bits floating around, and they're fatty acid esters, and they are flavor bombs. So the number 2 is going to be all about the mouthfeel, the oiliness. So if you really like an oily, thicker viscosity, I think that's what the number 2 is going for. So I'm pretty excited about that. Can't wait for it. So I haven't opened this one up yet, so we're going to open that up in a second. It's got the wax on it. It's got a little pull thing on it. I don't always have that much luck with these things here. We'll see. Sometimes they just crumble up and make a mess, but we'll see. Are you ready? All right, let's open this sucker here up. Oh yeah, here we go. Hey, that's working good. All right. So there you have it. We'll get rid of that wax in a minute. We'll get that in the trash over there. There's actually a little trash thing over there. We'll see if I can hit it. Oh, it's pretty tacky. I'm not going to be able to throw it. Here we go. Woof. Perfect. It hit it. You know it hit it because I told you. So these two are cork. This one here is a screw top. I have spent many a day pulling on this thing here. I need to, yeah, go back and realize it's a screw top. Don't let that one get you and catch you out. All right, so let's go ahead and open this one here up and see if she pops good. It's tight. Wow. Okay, so that's an artificial cork in there. I really like the artificial corks. They don't dry out. They don't shrink. I don't know that you really even have to turn these things upside down. You know, a lot of people pull their bottles out and turn them to wet the cork. You don't want to leave a bourbon on its side because that alcohol content will start to eat away the cork. The cork will go bad. It'll taint your whiskey. You'll know about that if you're a wine drinker. Cork taint is real. So anyway, we'll let that breathe just a second while we finish off this 46 off the shelf. It's so delicious. We are comparing these two. We're not really. I expect this to be significantly better. You know, that's just, boy, that's a good couch pour. If you're kind of thinking, what can I get for around 30 bucks? It's just a really good bourbon, and you know, everybody's flashing these bottles that are hard to get. This one's like 60 bucks, probably 60 to 70 bucks. Got up for 60. You know, there's a lot of whiskies out there people are paying 100, 120, 200 bucks for. You don't have to do that to get a good whiskey, trust me. This one here, really good. The 46 and the 46 standard and the cask are both fantastic. So anyway, I'm not going to rinse that out, I don't think. Look at that. Did you see how thick and viscous that is? I'm going to put the cork back on because it's right in front of me. And you know, chances of me knocking it over are pretty high. That's a good cork. Look at that. I can't even get it in. Boom. Wow. Very similar nose to the 46. Far more caramel. So it's darker fruits. Yeah, definitely darker caramel, brown sugars. Yeah, much more concentrated flavors in that. Oh, yeah, some baking spices, you know, like if you're making a spice cake or something like that, the sweeter spices. I'm not getting any pepper or anything like that. It's all sweetness. It's all sugar-based flavors, caramel, vanilla. Definitely get some char in there. So if you're not familiar, you'll see store picks from makers, and it'll have different recipes in there. They have different barrel staves that they'll drop in the barrel, and I've seen where you can go in there and you can actually pick your own staves, I believe, and stick them in the barrels and make your own mixture up there. That's a very good nose. Get something else in there. Maybe it's a little marzipan. Marzipan, if you don't know what that is, it's like the white almond icing. You get a lot traditionally in English, New Zealand, and Christmas cakes, and it's got that very heavy almond icing over it. That's the marzipan type. Alright, I'm going to give this a go, man. Wow. I mean, just absolutely no comparison. Definitely get more of the ethanol, right? 100 and, what I said was 110.5, I believe. 110.3 proof versus like a 94 or 96, whatever this was. 94. Yeah, you could put them in a lineup and there'd be no problem telling them apart because of the heat. Wow, I think this is delicious. So I've heard some mixed reviews on this where some people have tasted it and gone, it's a little bit astringent or something on the finish. I'm not getting any of that. Definitely getting more savory notes on the finish than sugars and sweetness, but on the palate, it's those darker fruit notes you get. I could smell this all day. Wow. That's such a good nose. Now that's one thing I don't think I've seen anybody argue about, is the nose on this is just spectacular. It's fantastic, but a few people just, you know, not high. Some people have been saying it's not as good as the RC6. I'm going to say it's better. Because I haven't had the RC6. It's definitely better for me. Okay, there is just a slight dryness on the finish. Some tannins. Not a super long finish. But up front and in the middle palate, the thing is just a flavor bomb. Oh, so much caramel. And then the peppery spice on the tongue after you've drank it is, it's a good heat, good spicy heat. So yeah, it's, you know, it's worth $60, man, every day. If you see it, I recommend add it to your collection. It's one that, yeah, I wanted to grab, and I'm glad I did. Alright, so that's my review. Again, B+. I think it's fantastic. It's a neck pour. We'll come back and visit it, and I'm sure it's going to open up some more. The nose is just